Sure. What's up, Ginger? How are you? Simone, how are you? I'm well. Thank you for asking. Stephen Knight, how are you, my friend? 5 people. I hear that, brother. I hear that. Hey, Pops, how are you? Hey, Wendy, how are you tonight? In 1 year. What's up, Lunatic Fringe? Rockin' steady. Yeah, we got lucky. No snow. It's cold as a witch's tit, though. It's like, no, it's not really that cold. It's 23. Nino, you sexy MFer, what's going on? Carl Breeden, how are you this evening? Hey, Joe, how are you? What's up, Aaron? How are you? How's it going, RH? Dude, I saw the other day, I saw someone when Nino commented on a video, they called him a sexy MFer. I saw it was so funny. I laughed my nuts off. Hey, Tommy, how are you? Yeah, so I don't know if anyone's noticed, but as of February, my views have gone down extremely, and I hit 58,000 yesterday and then went back to 57.9 something. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how it's even possible with the amount of views that I have. And like, it's just baffling to me. I don't know, something's going on that's pretty crazy. But I'm not going to complain or cry about it. I'll just keep pushing, keep doing. Yeah. Hey, Seuss Lucifer. Hey, Janie, how are you? Jody Bateman, what's going on? Happy birthday early, Joe. Happy birthday early. Caden, what's up? I hope you did not get in that white van last night. I did see they were offering candy and lollipops, and I hope you were just not tempted. I love Caden. Every time I go to bed, I go to bed, I have a lime popsicle with Tigger snuggled up to my face, and I watch shorts on YouTube. And I swear to God, the majority of my shorts are Caden. And I laugh my ass off because I fucking love Caden so much. He's just such an individual. What's up, Daniel Brad? So I got a favor, mods. The Jane, Pops, Joe, and right now it's just you guys that are in as mods. What's going on, Sean? Robert Sharp. So as mods, when you go in the comment section, not just in lives. You can do this in all the videos, okay? There's a channel that is constantly changing their name, but using the same picture. And it's just like an ass. And they just comment some random dumb stuff. You guys can you guys please, because I don't go in the comment section often. I try to stay away from it so I don't get in arguments. But could you guys please, as mods, block that person? Don't just hide their comment. Block them. Don't report them. Don't report them. That brings stuff to YouTube. Just block them. That makes me get viewed by YouTube. That's probably why my views are down now. Yeah, you didn't know it. Just block them. Because by reporting them, that means no, you didn't know. That's all right. But it just brings light to the channel on YouTube. So that means then they're looking, and that's probably why. Shit. So how is everybody's week this week? Good, I hope. Andy Davis, what's going on? Yeah, only mods can do that, right? Yes. Carol, I'm not sure. I'm assuming yes. Dis, how are you? My week has been crappy too, rock and steady. We are in the same basket of shit. That's all right. Kakalina, how are you this evening? Hey, Sam, how are you? Yeah, so today I was depressed today. I just literally worked all day as hard as I could. And Farmers of Death, man, I love that name. That is the greatest death metal band ever. Farmers of Death. It's like you're planting death and destruction. Mark, I'm not sure. I've not spoken to him. If I ever do speak to Victor, you guys will know before a Saturday night live stream. Aaron, I don't watch other channels. I know that he's, checking out the 411 UFO connection and stuff like that, but I don't watch other channels just because. Nothing against other channels. It's not for me. I read a lot. So, and by watching other channels, all I'm getting is their opinion. That's a huge thing is people don't realize, or people, maybe they do and they don't but just because someone has a YouTube channel and does work and research and stuff doesn't make them a authority on a subject. It makes them, they have looked into it and researched, and that 411 is truly an accomplishment brought into the world of the paranormal. He Politis coined the phrase and brought it to the public's eye, which is amazing. Oh, no worries, Andy. No worries. I haven't made dinner yet. Any suggestions? Shit on the shingle. Thank you, Janie. Thank you so much. Juno, how are you? Thank you, guys. So please, I've been trying to block the person, and it is the same person because it's the same ass. It's like a a porn picture of an ass. And literally, I looked yesterday when I blocked them to see what their channel, the date of the creation of their channel, and it was that day. And then I blocked them today, and it was today. And I'm like, holy shit, these people. And I know what it is. They're trolls. They're trolls that do this. They do it to people randomly. I don't know why. And it's just stupid. Brandon, how are you? Much love to you, my friend. Ugh. Strange and weird experiences. How are you? I am doing well. I'm doing better now that I'm here. Yeah, trolls suck. I would much rather. Can you block their IP? No. There's nothing, because YouTube is they're already becoming. At least I know it's not me hitting, but they're already a whatever of YouTube. So there's nothing I can do except just block them from my channel. Hey, Paul, how are you? Yeah, maybe. No, they're just showing purposely to cause trouble. That's it. Because that's what it does. It causes massive amounts of trouble for channels. James Darkwaters pointed me in that direction a long time ago. Because I was like, why do people do this? And he's like, oh, it's bad news, Jeff. Bad news. And I'm like, oh, shit. Woolrich is great quality. I like Woolrich quite a bit. 53 looks good on me. What's going on, Chris? How are you tonight? Who's got a cough? Did I have a cough? Did I cough? So I'll quick fill you in on my dad, and then we'll get into experiences and stuff. I yelled at my mom today, and I felt like shit for doing that because I feel bad for her for being in limbo and denial. And I've been humoring the denial for a wicked long time. Derek Crowley, how are you? And I couldn't entertain it anymore. And I was just like, this isn't good. What's up, Craig? And then I felt like an asshole the whole day. The whole fucking day. Did I miss somebody? I think I missed somebody. Well, I'm using the wrong mic or wrong fucking mouse. Gene. Who else? What's this? Oh, okay. All right, get back there. Boop. What's up, Neck? How are you? Barking Wolf Spider. That's awesome. I love that name too. Thank you. Yeah, I hope my dad gets better. I don't think he's gonna, to be honest with you. He's too far gone now. If he does, it's a miracle. And I know he's not going to be happy with his way of life, or not way of life, but the predicament that he's going to be in, because it won't be for a long time before he's home. Craig, pneumonia is not nothing to mess with, my friend. I hope you stay safe and stay good. What's up, Derek Bailey? How are you? Yeah, there is always hope. There is always hope. But so this week, with everything, they took the nasal nutrient tube out, and they put the gastrial thing are in, feeding tube. And my mom felt like shit this week, and so she did the old vid test, and she had just went down to see my dad with my cousin earlier in the week, and my mom doesn't leave the house except to go see my dad. Like, I do all her running around for her. And my cousin works from home, and she just beat cancer, so she's very health conscious. But my dad got COVID in the hospital, and he just lies there. Like, there's nothing. It makes no sense. I'm fucking baffled. Yeah, absolutely, barking wolf spider. I just put two and two together, and I'm sorry for your loss. And I just we used to, in Boy Scouts, had this term for like farting, and it was called the Adirondack barking wolf spider. That's what we called it. Was when someone ripped ass, and we were like, well, it was one of those Adirondack barking wolf spiders. And I just realized what your name meant for a second. It took me all this time. You've been here a million times, and I'm like, ha, I couldn't. Just dawned on me. I had the old gray moment. Look at that hair tonight, boys and girls. I'm doing better now that it's Saturday, Simon. How about you, my friend? Nicola, how are you? Rockin' Dave. All right. Let's see. There we go. Let's start the night with an experience quick. What do you call Adirondack Cola? Adirondack Cola. There's actually a brand of soda called Adirondack, so we call it Adirondack Cola. I don't know. I don't drink it. It's gross. I only drink Coke because Coke is good for you. No matter what anyone says, Coca-Cola is good for you. All right, so here we go. I live in Fargo, North Dakota, and the winters can get pretty brutal here. My husband is a long-haul trucker, so I'm home by myself a lot. One Monday morning, I was outside shoveling snow for my front walkway. It was still snowing, but the snowblower was busted, and I wanted to get some of it out of the way. I had worked on it for an hour or so, then decided to go inside and have a cup of coffee. I left the shovel on the front porch. After about 15 minutes, I headed toward the front door and back outside. It was then that I noticed the shovel was missing. I knew I had left it by the door. Then I looked up our driveway toward the street. It's very long, maybe 200 feet. And I saw someone shoveling snow by the mailbox. I walked in that direction and saw the footprints along the driveway, so I figured this person had my shovel. But why would they be shoveling out by the road? I got within 20 feet or so of this person and yelled, "You have my shovel." They didn't answer. I could tell it was a teenage girl with long blonde hair. She was dressed in dark gray jacket, no hat or boots. I yelled again, "What are you doing?" The person looked up. I swear I almost fainted. The face was that of a teenage girl with alabaster white skin. Her eyes were completely black. She stared at me and didn't say a word. She dropped the shovel and continued to stare at me. Then she said in a very soft voice, I need you to help me." I stood there dumbfounded, but I kind of felt sorry for her. I picked up the shovel and then asked her, "What's the trouble?" Again, she looked at me for several seconds, not uttering a word. And then she said, "Can I have the shovel?" I said, "You can use it when I'm finished. Is that okay?" Then she said thank you and turned and walked down the street. I kept an eye on her as she walked past several residents without stopping, eventually distance enough that I couldn't see her in the falling snow. This black-eyed girl never came back for the shovel, and I still have no idea why she was shoveling the entrance to my driveway. I told my husband about the incident, and he replied, I've heard talk about these black-eyed people. I didn't know they were here in Fargo. I asked where he'd heard about this, and he said most of the incidents that he heard were from California, but there were a few more in other states, and that other truck drivers have encountered some. He also said he had never seen one. Thought it was very interesting. I still wonder about her. You know, what's crazy about that is why did the lady yell at the poor black eyed child when the kid was shoveling her yard for her? I mean, come on. You're shoveling her yard. This black eyed little demon child is shoveling the yard, and you're going to yell at her. That's just mean. You should have let her finish and then got your freaking shovel. What's up, Jen Cox? How are you? But you know what I mean? Like, damn, she's shoveling your driveway. I would have just watched her shovel my driveway. Then when she turned around and looked at me, I would have went right back inside my house and I would have said, bye. No $20 for you. Let her shovel and tell her to get lost, right? And then her husband's like, I've heard of those black-eyed children from other truckers. I've also heard of lot lizards too, but don't worry about them, honey. Ha ha. As he's got the old genital warts. What's up, DL Hemingway? What's up, buddy? Love you. Good night. Maybe. Difference between Hellhound and Dogman. Well, in my eyes, see, the difference between a Dogman and a Hellhound, it may differ in different people. Okay. To me, and I say that because once again, there is no experts. So of course, someone's going to say one thing and say, another person will say another. But to me, and I'm not an expert, and it's just my opinion. So to me, Hellhound is a demonic entity that's usually quadruped with red eyes, smells like sulfur, and is, a demon fucking dog. Dogman is bipedal, possibly flesh and blood, possibly interdimensional, whatever. So that's the best I can give you. But I'm not going to say that without a shadow of a doubt this is, because I've only seen a Dogman. I've never seen a Hellhound. And I'm not going to even attempt to pretend that I know more than I do. Yeah, the Dulce stuff is getting good, huh? I got a couple of other things that I got to share with you guys soon here, too. What happened? Yeah, I've been watching that a little bit about what's going on over in the Middle East too. Absolutely. Some real crazy stuff. Some real crazy stuff. Hey, Dean, how are you? Yeah, definitely not. You don't want to mess with either or. Little Horse Reynolds, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, my internet connection is great tonight, so it's not on me. That's on your end. I learned so many new phrases here. Ermic, how are you? Yeah, I didn't see a commercial pop up. I must have missed it. Apologize for that. Let's see what we can get here for experiences for you all. Hey, what happened? Why'd my fucking computer shut off? Come on, cocksuck. That wasn't cool. What happened? Does this thing only have the battery life of a fucking minute? Derek Crawley, thank you very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Truth Quest. Hello, Truth Quest. Temple, how are you? Chris, I haven't heard of any attacks in Tennessee, but maybe so. Was it a girl that you know of? My computer shut down. I'm sorry, guys. Hang on. Jeff, I tried to send you an email, but my phone's all messed up. I want to talk with you about something. All right. Yeah, I have not been responding to too many emails as of late, to be honest with you, because my head is just fucked. So I've got to just get out of this funk that I'm in. And then I'll start to my system's updating. Super. I gotta get out of my funk. So I will very soon start to thank you, Jeff, as well as person can be on 3 days of quit smoking. You're welcome. I don't understand, but you're welcome. I hope you stay quit smoking. I quit smoking by the Juul. I hate when my laptop does. Dude, it was charged 100% and then it just shit the bed. What's up, Jay? It's brand new. Well, it's not brand new. It's a year old. 86 buckets. He's a really nice guy too. And he was forced to stop talking to me. I was going to do an interview with him. What's up, buddy? I was going to do an interview with him, and he was warned not to. So that really sucked because I really wanted him to come on the show back a while ago. Hey, Steve, how are you? So, did anyone do their homework from last week? Guys, 771 people, 88 likes. Let's get those likes up, please. It helps me out. Jeff, I checked out Ultra Terrestrial. It was very interesting. That was good. That was a good video. There's some deeper stuff. I did a video a while ago on interdimensional. Zach, send me an email, please. The homework for last week was to watch Hunt for Skinwalker, the movie, not the TV show, not that lame TV show that they made, and the movie. And I said that oh my God, Tony Robbins is the owner of Skinwalker Ranch. I believe it 100%. When I was watching it, his watch and his ring were the two most noticeable things. And the guy that they are using as a patsy, saying that he owns it now on that stupid show, he doesn't own it. It's Tony Robbins. I think Tony Robbins is a reptilian, and without a shadow of a doubt. Hey, IE Native, how are you? That's where the Texas DL, that's where the Border Patrol agents, that's where all that happened. So I wouldn't say hotspot, but I would say periodic attacks and periodic encounters. Absolutely. No, Tony Robbins is definitely not a lot lizard. Reptilian, yes. Lot lizard, no. And if he was, I don't know too many truckers that would be paying for that. Maybe. You never know. You never know, do we? All right. Finally, it got booted back up. Apologize about that, guys. But if you guys didn't do your homework, check that out. Hunt for Skinwalker. Yes. Tony Robbins. He's a inspirational speaker. Oh, thank you, Jersey. Thank you very much. He's a inspirational speaker. And I'm telling you guys, like, I might be wrong. I'm not saying 100% that I'm right. But I looked, in his watch and his ring were just, and my friend Zach and I, he's not into the paranormal. He's Native American. Well, he is kind of in the paranormal, but we were talking about it one day, and we were watching the movie together via the phone. So I'm watching it here, he's watching it at his house, and talking about the movie and this and that. And we both instantly, after the interview was happening, I was like, dude, is that Tony Robbins? And he's like, yeah, I think it is. So, yeah, very cool. Jersey, once again, thank you very much. I appreciate your love. I don't know if he's a Jehovah's Witness, to be honest with you. I'm not. I wouldn't know. What's up, Ann? How are you? Wilburn, how are you? I love Wilburn's name, dude. Wilburn. I want to change my name to Wilburn Nadolny. That's just an awesome fucking name. What's up, Ray Springer? If I changed my name to Wilburn, I would have a dip in my mouth every day, some cowboy boots, and I would be holding my dank all the time, spitting, just because I can. Ha ha! Oh, I'm fucked up. I really am a fucked up person. All right, here. Derek, you're heading out? Have a good night, my friend. Thank you again. Brian, how are you? Mr. Fuji, investigate, my friend. Investigate. Weather. That's a great question. Do you think any prehistoric creatures still exist? Yes, I do. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't go to as far as saying like Tyrannosaurus Rex or large dinosaurs, but like maybe Archaeopteryx, a lot of aquatic and things like that. Maybe a lot lizard, pterodactyl. Yup. Pterodactyl for sure. The inner earth, I wouldn't know. I don't think so. That's my opinion though. What's up, Mr. Billy Blue? You know, I mean, Godzilla was great about that, making it, you know, but no. I mean, I think more or less reptilian humanoids and things like that. Coelacanth, yep. Giant snakes, possibly. Could I have your email address again? Yes. Give me 1 second. Hang on 1 second. NAD. NY. And then I'm going to jump into an encounter for you. All right. It is right under Firehorse and right above Rock and Dave. Rock Dave. Yeah, Rock and Dave. I'd kill to see a pterodactyl. Yep, most definitely. Lunatic Monarch was great. I loved Monarch. Mastodons. Yeah, I think maybe in Antarctica, but nah, I don't know. I think Megalodon still is lurking in our oceans. I hear all these encounters with dogmen. It's a lot of firearm owners as a tiny Shih Tzu owner. I imagine. I would imagine. I mean, yeah, I think they can tell, if not the smell, just by seeing. This I don't know, to be honest with you. Don't mess up on me again, son of a bitch. Okay, here we go. I was walking down a road one dark, cloudy morning on my way to work when I just happened to turn and look around behind me. On the other side of the road, I saw a huge, strange-looking dog. It was completely devoid of hair and was unlike any other breed that I had ever seen before. Luckily, it hadn't noticed my presence as I was standing on the other side of the street halfway down the road. I quickly walked off at speed, as I really didn't fancy being a canine chew toy for this unusually large-looking canine. I found it rather odd that the dog was just roaming around the neighborhood all alone like that, especially at this time of the morning. When I got further down the road, I looked back to make sure that it wasn't following me, and I did breathe a sigh of relief, as there was no sign of it, so I continued walking. As I rounded the corner to Jetty Marsh Road, I was completely shocked to see the same dog a bit further down the road, straight ahead of me, and I immediately stopped dead in my tracks. I was very confused of how this unusual-looking canine had managed to get ahead of me like that. The dog turned its head and looked straight at me, and I could now see that it had glowing red eyes. It then menacingly growled, and I thought, oh shit. I was really terrified by the sight of this rabid-looking creature, and I slowly began to back up while keeping my eyes completely transfixed upon it. Suddenly, the dog began to slowly dissolve before it turned into a large puff of smoke. I stood there with my mouth agape, What on earth had I just seen? I was left scratching my head, trying to understand what I had just saw. I then cautiously carried on walking toward the area where it had been. When I hesitantly got up to that exact spot, I saw clawed paw prints in the dirt, which gave me an icy cold shiver that ran down my spine. My attention was then immediately drawn towards a small tree that had began to shake violently back and forth, as though something invisible was shaking it with real force in order to try and scare me away from the area. Well, needless to say, it succeeded in doing so. I instantly ran off down the road as fast as I could. And I just kept running until I was at the safety of my work, all the way to King Station. I don't normally scare that easy, but this particular morning was pretty terrifying. I stopped walking into work for a while after this, and I would instead take a taxi or get a lift. Years on after this event, I'm still not entirely sure what exactly I saw that strange morning, but I know one thing is for sure. I never want to experience anything quite like that again. This strange event took place one cold winter's morning at Newton Abbot, Devonshire, England. Very interesting. Very creepy. Very creepy right there. I would say, I don't know if it was a dogman, to be honest with you. Because, I mean, I've heard of a few, but I would say more or less a hellhound or something like that. Um, Not a dogman, in my honest opinion, just because of how it was, you know. Little orphan, how are you? Clyde, how are you? Oh shit. Maybe the shuck, yeah. I mean, because people have said that the black shuck is people have classified it as a dogman, but then others have classified it as like the black dog, like the black dogs, which I would say the black shuck would be classified not as a dogman in my own world of research. The old stinker definitely would be a dogman, but the shuck, no. Did I miss anybody popping in? $20 is $20. Jeb, how are you? Sitting outside with a campfire, listening to the dog, man. Clyde, nice. I cannot wait until Oh my God. Did you guys see that we're gonna have the Adirondacks are gonna get hit with a complete solar eclipse on April 8th? For like 4 minutes, and it's 90%. Like it's a 90% darkness rating. And I'm like, oh shit. So you know what I'm gonna do on April 8th? I am going to where Tom Mezek disappeared on April 8th on the complete solar eclipse, and maybe we'll get something good that day. But I told my mom that I was going to do that, and she goes, "Oh Jesus!" And then I said, "Well, maybe Bigfoot will rough me up or something." And you know what my mom said? She goes, "Throw $20 at him." El Kukui, yes. I couldn't believe my throw $20 at him. I was like, well, shit. I said, all I'm gonna see is fucking Bigfoot running down, chasing me, like screaming, "Get over to the sharing stone, Jeff! Bend over!" I bought eclipse glasses. I've got to get some. Santo, how are you? Are we going to be able to see it in Manhattan? I think Manhattan's like an 80%. There's a map. And it shows the arc of, because literally it's going to hit like 15 states. It's going to go all the way from Maine, parts of Canada, right all the way down into Mexico, right through Texas. The Sharon Stone, I know. You know what's crazy is the other day I got, like I said, I watched Caden's shorts at night because, you know, you click on shorts and it gives you channels or things that you've watched previously. And the Sharing Stone guy was on. And so I clicked on the channel, and he has not posted anything about Bigfoot or the Gifting Rock or anything like that, because I think he did what he wanted to do, and that was to get people to look at his TikTok account, build it up, and then stop and go back to the fishing stuff. Bait and switch, Aramic. Bait and switch. Absolutely right. The Shame Cave. Oh, shit. Yeah, Simon, totally. You know, I think it's cool, like, you know, that the fishing stuff, but to douche everybody out like he did was kind of fucked, you know? Like, I've fallen by the Gifting Rock. Fucker. Hey, Pearl Green, how are you? Texas Frontline. Caden. I've fallen and I've ass up. You know it. He's ass up biting the fucking grass. He's like, arr, arr, arr. Come here, Bigfoot. He's like, I'm already greased up for you. Ugh. Thank you, Santo. I appreciate that. Yeah, the 2017 one wasn't great in upstate New York. The 2017 eclipse, it actually sucked. We got like 20% of darkness. But I'm so excited because it's like 90%, and it's like the Adirondacks only get a eclipse every 90 years. So, Elsa Blue, how are you? So I'm very, very excited about that. All right, here we go, kids. Here we go, kids. I'm invisible, working on appearing soon. Oh, shit, that's funny. I know orb lights are associated with Bigfoot. Any stories you remember involved? Yes, 86 buckets. There's a researcher, Captain Ron. How are you? There's a researcher. Hey, Tyler. There's a researcher named Ron Murphy, and he was out doing a dogman research out in the woods at night, and he believes that the orbs were trying to guide him into where the dog man was, but the that voice in the back of your head was like, nope, nope, and nope. We're not doing that. Okay, here we go. There are unknown creatures not to be trifled with. They are terrifying and dangerous, but I am not positive that our encounter was with something like a skinwalker or something much more dangerous. Hang on, I gotta make sure. Yeah, I already shared this one. Yep, I did. I'm going through encounters that I have saved up on my computer because I ran out of time. Well, let's go here. All right. Here we go. This encounter comes from my daughter, from my first marriage. Her mom and I were separated by this time, and she had been remarried. This occurred in 2003 and disturbs me to no end. My daughter was around 11 at the time, and she has a brother and sister a few years younger than her. They were living in the Ozark region during the late evening before sundown, and they lived in a little rural area surrounded by woodland fields. They were playing hide and seek with a couple of the neighbor friends in a little trailer park where they were living at the time. My daughter was hiding by a rabbit hutch near the woodland when she noticed something on the edge of the timber. As she looked, she saw what she described what looked like a wolf at first glance. She then noticed that it was standing on two legs. It was crouched, watching her. She said she didn't feel scared at all, but was actually comfortable and felt an inviting vibe from it, as if she was safe and she wanted to get closer to it and try and pet it. It was black in color and very large with red eyes, and she felt like she was being beckoned. But then her mom just happened to step out in time and called them in for dinner. So she waved at the creature and ran indoors. She claims that later her brother and sister and her had all seen it. Her brother was scared and felt threatened. Her sister too felt scared and warned away. I feel like this thing was watching these children and making a selection out of which one it wanted and tried to coax my daughter to go with it. And that scared the living hell out of me. How close was my daughter to becoming another missing person lost forever? The thought still sends chills to my bones. Not cool. Hey, Dana, how are you? Jeff. Jamie, yes, I've had an encounter. Not with a devil monkey. Ever had an encounter? Yeah, I had a dogman encounter in '94. I only know of a few devil monkey experiences. What's up, hippie girl? Hey, Don Combs, how are you? Sorry I missed you guys. Sorry if I missed anyone. Hey, Eunice, Michelle Moore, Willie Menendez, how are you? Mendez. There's a report of a devil monkey being hit in Maine. I don't remember the year, but it had been hit and it was lying in the road. People had thought that it was a dog man, but it was clearly different. Clearly different. Clyde, best bet is to go inside, but if you do want to stay outside with those, make sure you got the lube with you, especially if it's a Bigfoot and you're by a big stone. What's up, cowboy? No, but for real, if you're feeling weirded out, go inside. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like their devil monkeys are kind of rare. I don't know. You know, I've only had a couple of different experiences shared to me about them. A devil monkey is, it looks like a dog man. It looks, actually what it looks like is a baboon. It looks like a baboon. And usually, the very few that I've heard are East Coast, Maine, and I've heard of one or two out of New Hampshire. They're about 6 feet max. They're not enormous looking. But yeah. No, they don't have horns. Yeah, 50 Beowulf would kind of be overkill. I mean, I think you could take down a dogman with a 308 with proper bullet placement, especially, with proper bullet placement. Even a Bigfoot, proper bullet placement will take anything down. No, Daniel, nothing out of the LBL as of late. Yeah. Yeah, 458 SOCOM. Hey, 4MS. I mean, I've got a 458 SOCOM actually from the owner of Tromix. He's the guy who actually created the gun. He created the 458 SOCOM Tromix lead delivery system. Ron Moore, and he gifted me a 458 upper, which I can attach to my lower of my Stag firearm and be good to go. But yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not great. I mean, they're great gun, but I mean, the 4570 is the same, pretty much the same round. It all depends on what you like. Who needs my email? I'll put my email in right now if someone's asking for it. Hang on, let me make sure I mark this page. Yeah, the 4570 hits hard. If you get hit, if you shoot a Bigfoot with a 4570 and you don't hit it chest, if you can properly bullet placement, get it in the throat, get it in the underneath its ribs, blow its kneecap off. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna stop. Oh, thanks, Rockin' Steady. Thank you. Rockin' Steady just put my email in. Thank you very much. Your 3030 works fine too. I'm a firm believer of Fort Scott Munitions TUI 9mm. Wonderful round. Fort Scott, if you're paying attention and listening, sponsor me. But I mean, they killed a black bear with one shot, and a hog with one shot. Long rifle, of course, 9mm, but it's proper bullet placement. Pups, yes, I believe so. Pearl Green, thank you so much. Holy shit, thank you. I'm giving you a hug. Here's our huggy. Huggy. That sounded so dumb. Huggy. I sounded like fucking Sloth from Goonies. Baby Roof. Pearl Green for the win. He says, Eric Baker, how are you, my friend? Yeah, the Tumble Upon Impact by Fort Scott Munitions is a great round. They did they did do the bear, the boar, both with long rifle 9mm, but then they did a mag dump on 2A body armor and it penetrated just like the 5.7. 10mm. They do make 10mm. If you guys go to Fort Scott and make sure you get the TUI, Tumble Upon Impact. Great round. I'm not sponsored by them. If I were to get ammo, I would get Fort Scott. Minority Reporter, how are you? Thank you, Pearl. I adore you. Are there crawler sightings in the cities? Yeah. I'm not going to say many of them, but yeah. I think that people in the cities don't want to share. You know what I mean? Because, think about it. You're in like Chicago, or you're like where Sam lives in Manhattan. Or let's say you're living in Astoria and you walk out your brownstone and you see a crawler going up the side of the building. You're going to go inside the house and just ignore it because, city people are, different. They don't want to talk about the shit. They'll just stay inside. Nordic Beauty, how are you? Captain Ron, we cannot. The government, the U.S. government would never be able to take it. It'd be state by state, and that's what New York is doing. New York is doing it day by day. They pass a new law to fuck us over with our weapons. Paul, have a good night. Thank you for joining us. Ricardo, just type in Fort Scott Munitions. Fort Scott Munitions. Thank you, Eunice. God, you guys are awesome to me tonight. I appreciate you all. I love you all. I'm gonna share this encounter, and then I want to share something with you guys. Every time I see fucking Nino, man, I just get so like, oh yeah, sexy MFer. All right, I swear that I'm not making this up. When I lived in Texas, it was a stormy night. Like any unusual strong storm, plenty of lightning and thunder. I had a friend over. I remember playing Morrowind and OG Halo super late. I was lying awake, staring out the window and listening to the rain. We had called it a night about an hour before. There's a tree outside of my window with a branch I would sometimes use to get in and out of my room for privacy reasons and because my parents were nosy. In between some thunder, I saw something on the branch outside. A pair of eyes, large and yellow. They just appeared right where I was already staring at. In a single instant, just there, a flash of lightning from the storm lit the tree up. I looked again, and it was Gollum from Lord of the Rings or some shit. Gangly and gray with long-looking teeth, long fingers that were holding something that was moving. I didn't move. I didn't make a sound. whatever this thing was, it was looking like it was eating something. Then it looked right over at me and seemed to smile. A far too human-like smile. I screamed bloody murder and woke up the whole damn house. Everyone told me to stop lying about stuff. You had too much caffeine before bed. Me and my friend did down 2 12-packs of soda between us. You were asleep. It was a nightmare. I have no idea if I was seeing things or if it was a trick of the light or something. But I know I was awake. It was during the summertime, and I had been staying awake until sunup for 2 weeks at that point. When I told my friend, he was skeptical, but he did take my word for it. Our house is surrounded by 20 acres of woods, and we both heard some strange crap in those woods. When day broke and the storm let up, we went outside near my window. On the ground, right under that branch, were some half-eaten field mice and tails. It had been 17 years ago since that day, and I still see it in my nightmares occasionally. When I think about what's out there in the dark, I remember that Gollum-like creature, because that's what I called it ever since. That's not cool. That's not cool. No. Schmiegel. My daughter has a friend, not Belle, but my other daughter has a friend. And this girl is so fucking hideous looking. I really hope she's not watching the channel right now. But she is so creature. She's a creature. And her nickname is Schmiegel. They call her Schmeegs. Schmeegs. What kind of friend are you? Schmeegs. She does, though. She looks just like fucking Gollum, man. Oh, my God. She is a poor kid. Oh. I said, you guys call her Schmeegs. I said, if she ever has a kid, they're going to name it Gollum. Ha, ha, ha. At the children playing Xbox. Ooh, Truth Quest. That's not good. You're in Texas, too, aren't you, Truth Quest? No, you're in Australia. Well, you know, kids aren't nice, Julie. Kids aren't nice. I vampire. Hey, Kathy. Maybe not. Yeah, you're right, Simone. You're right. Ugly people do make cute kids. What's up, Nick Hendricks? Wait, I thought Kathy Hayes was already in the live because I gave her my email address earlier. Are you tricking us, Kathy? Are you popping in, popping out? Vlad. The first time I ever heard Vlad the Impaler or Vlad Toupee, or whatever it is, was on G.I. Joe. When they went to Transylvania, Beachhead was like, that's Vlad Toupee. $20 is $20, Eunice. You know that. Carl, have a good night. Thank you for joining us, my friend. Beachhead was my favorite. Well, no, Beachhead was awesome. Snake Eyes was by far my favorite. Every kid likes Snake Eyes in G.I. Joe, though. Hey, Jeff, my daughter says I look like her. No, she looks like you, Simon. Brian. Oh, that's pretty much the majority of the population, right? Storm Shadow was awesome. Flint was great. Yeah, Flint was good. You know, my favorite G.I. Joe action figure, the one that I loved the most, though, what was the Navy? That was Shipwreck. Shipwreck. My favorite G.I. Joe guy was Cobra Commander with the hood that you had to special order. You had to send in special like the little coupon things in the back. Copperhead. Right there, baby. There's Copperhead. Shipwreck was a joker, man. Shipwreck was a joker. He was always joking around. He was whooping ass and taking names later. There was Gung Ho. Remember Gung Ho? He had the tattoo on his chest. Hell yeah. He wanted Scarlett's booty. Baroness. Yeah, she was sexy. She was a sexy biatch. Oh, that German booty. Woo-wee. Oh, shit. No, but she was. Baroness was hot. She had glasses and she wore that black leather. Oh, God. Uh-huh. All right, here we go. Enough of that. Clint did an update on my dad. He's not getting any better, buddy. I collect comics. Just Image comics, my like horror anthology comics, like Ice Cream Man, which I've got 1 through 26. Silver Coin. Just a bunch of weird stuff. Nothing like Marvel. Oh, yeah. The Baroness was great. All right, here we go. October 8th, 2021, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. So I'm going to start off by saying that this is a secondhand account. I'm actually really pissed off that I missed it, but that can't be helped. So about 3 hours into it, my girlfriend left to go pick up some food. She came back about 15 or 20 minutes later. She was like, I saw a monster at the park. At first, I didn't believe her, but after a bit of questioning, she was serious. So we immediately got into the car. She put the food in the oven first so it wouldn't get cold and drove over there. And there was nothing, of course. I was actually hoping there'd be a Halloween decoration or something, but nope. We circled the park, and then I had her park across the street so I could go and look at the spot where she saw it. Nothing. I don't even know what I was thinking I'd find, but I still wanted to look around. Again, nothing. It was grass, so not like there'd be any footprints or anything like that. And yeah, that's pretty much the story. But I'll describe what she described to me. She said she was driving and she saw someone kind of hiding behind a tree, but poorly. Like obviously sticking out from an angle, but she looked at it. She decided that it was not a person, just it was shaped like a person. She described it as white. That's what drew her attention. She said it wasn't the color she expected to see. And she said that it had glowing red eyes. I asked her if she meant reflective, like a cat, or actually glowing. She said glowing. She described its fingers as pointy. She said it looked like it was watching the cars pass by. She said it was hunched over, so she couldn't be sure how tall it was. But she did guess around the 5 feet, maybe even more, hunched over. While in that position, probably taller. She was driving past, so she only saw it for 4 or 5 seconds. Based on what I saw, there were 2 trees maybe 4 feet apart, and they were maybe 30 feet from the road. I'm not great at math or measurements, so those numbers could be off, and I don't know if it's relevant or not, but we were in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And yeah, that's it. I'd call myself a very amateur paranormal nerd. I like to watch YouTube videos and look through subs. So I'm not claiming to be anything close to an expert. I have no idea what she saw, but it sounds like a crawler is a close match. And really, I know very little about these things. I'd love to hear more thoughts and theories on this, and general information would be good. And yeah, that's my, or at least my girlfriend's experience. It was the long lost Oak Ridge boy. That's what the lady saw. She saw the long lost Oak Ridge boy. Elvira, my heart's on fire. Wasn't that the Oak Ridge Boys? Didn't the Oak Ridge Boys sing Elvira? I think they did. Yep, that's right. Elvira, my heart's on fire. Elvira. I remember listening to that on vinyl when I was a little kid. My parents used to have parties back in like the early 80s, and they'd wake me up to entertain their friends. All their friends would be shit-faced and drunk, and they'd have me come out and sing songs for them by the fucking hi-fi. I'd be singing Kenny Rogers, The Gambler, the whole album. I was in love with Stevie Nicks when I was a kid, too. Trying to look for a good one for y'all. This looks good. Black-eyed kid. Black-eyed kid. Black-eyed kid. There we go. All right, I'm going to take a minute here. What's up, Vang? How are you? Oh, my God. Stevie Nicks was just like this beautiful, like, alabaster princess, queen. Yeah, she was a witch. What was that show that she was in? American Horror Story. She's a white witch. She also loved the cocaine. Samara, with a name like Elvira, you have to be interested in the paranormal, right? Wait, Stevie Nicks was the goat on freaking South Park? Simon, have a good night. Thank you for joining us. Be safe. Andy, I'd avoid you like the plague, too. General. Yes, General. You know, I'm just busting your chops, brother. Just busting your chops. How did she know she was a witchy poo? Oh, God. Hang on. Oh, God, I hate that when I sit on the old fucking sack. The joke being whenever she sang it sounded like a goat. Oh, my God, Rockin' Steady. That's funny. Jeannie, I'm sorry you miss home. No witchy poo. Mama Cass. Hell yeah. I always sit on the sack. I don't know. I think it's from sitting too much. Ugh. That was her choice, though. What do you think about Vince McMahon? What do I think about Vince McMahon? I liked him better when he was on steroids. No, he's crazy. I think his daughter's a lot lizard. Stephanie, she's definitely a lot lizard. What's up, Puma Pete? My auntie is a lizard. Maybe. What did Vince McMahon do? I don't know. What am I missing something? What did he do? Is he in trouble? Did he do something bad? Yeah, definitely. Wait, Vince McMahon? Whoa. Are you kidding? Wow, not cool. I gotta look it up now. Vince McMahon.
According to Sport Bible, following a successful WrestleMania weekend,
Oh, what?
WWE had been sold for $21 billion.
What? Holy shit. He's a bad man. If he gets charged and gets away, like he goes to the pen for it, he's bad stuff is going to happen to his booter hole. Bad stuff. That's what it's going to be like with no Vaseline. Just imagine a little bit of gasoline. Oh, they'll do more than kill him. They'll do way more than kill him. No, Child of 83. That's Ice Cube. It was Ice Cube line. Close, though. Close, though. He needs the gift in rock. He needs the gift in rock just like put in his man purse. Put right up the old booter hole, buddy. It's time. $20. It's $20. Right up the old booter hole, buddy. The booter hole. My neighbors hate me. I don't give a fuck. Alrighty then. Vince McMahon is the president, former owner of the WWE prior to them selling their original name, WWF, to the World Wildlife Federation or Foundation. Dude, Cat Williams. Cat Williams is a liar. I cannot stand Cat Williams. He's spouting off a ton about like everything. I don't think he's been half of what you know what I mean? Like, he's funny as shit, but he's just blibbity blobbling for money, I think. The old man purse. Yeah, soon. All right, here we go. I still have chills. My encounter does not match 100% to others that I've heard, but I am positive it was something to do with these black-eyed children. So this was about April 2019. I live in a decent-sized city in western United States. My job at the time was in a restaurant where I worked late nights, sometimes until 1 a.m. The job wasn't far from my apartment, so I would walk every night. My place was in a kind of run-down part of town. Imagine a lot of abandoned lots. Basically, at the time of night, there would be no one around except people like me making their way home. So I'm walking down the road leading up to my place one night. I'm looking down at my phone. And when I lift my head up and see two kids, probably 40 to 50 feet away, holding hands and walking in my direction. This was odd because the road is a pretty straight shot. There wouldn't have been many alleys or side streets for them to come out of, unless they were just hanging out in one of the empty lots. They were too far to make out any details, but I was sure they were young kids. This on itself is unsettling, but the way they started behaving after this was what sent me into caution mode. These two stepped off the curb, looked both ways, and crossed the street. There was no need to do that on complete deserted road. But I thought, whatever, kids are taught to look both ways before crossing. That would have been fine, except then, after walking maybe 10 feet, they stepped off again, looked both ways, and crossed back over to the same side they were just on. They did this 4 or 5 times until they were right in front of me. I could tell at this point it was a boy at maybe 13, a girl at 9. Their clothing wasn't exactly like other black-eyed kid accounts I have heard, where they were wearing old-time rags. Instead, they had what looked like gray pajamas, with white shoes and no logo or branding. Now, I'm a pretty big guy. I'm 6'1", 240. I've been stopped and messed with by all kinds of junkies and weirdos, and always thought I could handle myself despite that. I felt terrified of these two little kids. They came up to me, and even though their eyes were not solid black, their pupils seemed to be very different, very dark, but almost had a glow to them. They stopped dead in front of me, and the boy said, "We are lost. Our parents must be worried." in a straight, monotone voice. You think that two lost kids in the ghetto at 1 a.m. would be frantic and crying. The girl then chimes in, "We need to use your phone at your house. Our parents must be worried." She talked in that same matter-of-fact way. I told them they could use my cell phone, or I would call the police for them. They didn't say anything, and the boy just said again, "Our parents are worried." In no other situation would I leave two kids there defenseless, but something in my gut told me to get the hell out of there. So I just walked past them. After about a block, I looked back and saw them continuing in the other direction, repeatedly crossing the street again. It was one of the most unsettling things I have ever experienced. Eee! Eee! No, thank you. No, thank you. No black-eyed kids for me. Yes. Black-eyed kids are just, they're monsters, man. I really think that they're demonic. That's my own opinion, is that they are demonic. And that they don't, I don't know. I just think they're terrifying. Santo, could the devil monkey be some sort of dogman Sasquatch hybrid? Maybe, but probably not. Yeah, they don't hide their eyes. They don't give a crap. I don't even answer my door for solar panel sellers. Yeah, what do you say when they knock at your door? Vang just said it. They knock at your door and you're like, I don't have a landline. Black-eyed adults are even scary too. Remember that there was a couple months back, I did that one in New York City where the guy came from JFK and they were driving with a taxi driver or an Uber driver, and they saw these two adults that were dressed in like 50s type clothing, 50s era clothing, and they were driving like a 57 Bel Air convertible, and it was messing with them. Yeah, black-eyed people in general are just not cool. Not cool. Yeah, you could try to throw salt. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Troy? How are you? Red Cardinal. You know, we got to figure out a way of trolling the black-eyed kids. Aramic. Thank you, brother. Werewolf over dogman. Well, here on this channel, the term werewolf more or less has a different meaning. They, according to people who have shared here, one person in general, his name is Victor, but they have different legs than dogman and stuff. I like walking wolves like Luke. Where are most encounters from? I don't know. I honestly don't know. Rockin', you're crashing out? Love you, brother. Have a good night. Thank you for joining us. Haha, Aramik. Rockin' steady. Good night. Buddy. Come here. Come here. What? What? Oh. Want to say hi to everybody? Look who came to join us. The mascot. Yeah, good boy. Huh. Oh, buddy. What? Huh? What? Cat is the mascot, Clint. He's the mascot. He's a good boy, huh? A good boy? Yeah, a good boy. You good boy. You good boy. He's not fat. He's not fat at all. He's a big boy, huh? What? Yeah, you're a buddy. Donna, he's not getting any better, but thank you for asking. Thank you. He's just big bone. No, he's not fat at all, actually. He's very, he's. What? He didn't like that too much. Oh. What, buddy? What? I gotta record and I gotta read. I gotta read, buddy. I gotta read. He's purebred Maine Coon, Sam. His mom is or was my mom's Maine Coon, and she bred her Maine Coon with another Maine Coon, and he was born in my house. He's never known anybody except me. Thank you, Donna. Thank you. I appreciate that. Santo, yes, New York State is becoming a Gestapo state. Very true. And it's not right. It's not right. It's crazy that it takes something bad to happen for the government to actually act the way they're supposed to act. It's a crock of crap. Clint, yes. Yep, JR. His name's JR, yes. I'm waiting on some stuff from him, some information to come via online. What's up, Giant Slayer? How are you? All right, let's get a encounter. Oh, here we go. Since Sanhoff just brought this up. Sanhoff just brought black-eyed adults up. So here we go. I don't know much about UFOs or aliens beyond fiction, which is why I'm a little baffled at having met a man in black 4 times. Wait, this said black-eyed kid. Black-eyed, yeah, okay. There we go. I don't know much about UFOs or aliens beyond fiction, which is why I'm a little baffled at having met a man in black 4 times. There's not much I can do for evidence, so if you don't believe me, fair enough. I'm well aware that it sounds far-fetched. I'm hoping I can find people who have had similar experiences, though. The most logical explanation is that it was sleep paralysis or hallucination, but it just doesn't seem to add up. He appears in my room at night, very consistent every time. He dresses like it's 1952, a neat suit, trench coat, and a wide-brimmed fedora. He used to wear dark sunglasses, but he stopped doing that. His eyes are entirely black. The first time I saw him was in September. I woke up to a bright blue light shining from outside, and a man standing at the foot of my bed in front of the window. I felt extremely sleepy. The first thing he said to me was, "You are going to be fine." I feel like the next thing he said does nothing to help my credibility, but he told me to remember the Mothman prophecies, 66. I hadn't heard of the book at the time. That took me months to get around and read, since I had written off the initial experience as some sort of fever dream. I had been sick when it happened. The second time I saw him was in January. I'd nearly finished reading Mothman prophecies by then. I was dreaming. I saw the man on the street, ran over to him and said, "Excuse me." And he turned and said, "You should come with me now." I woke up, and he was kneeling next to my bed, his face close enough that I could make out his features despite my bad eyesight. The room was lit with a blue light like before. This time I could barely keep my eyes open, and it was difficult to focus. He told me, "Don't worry, you're just in a trance." I'm not entirely sure what he said then, but it was something about computer programs and minds. He told me to finish reading the prophecies and that I should keep a record of my dreams. I was very much convinced that this was sleep paralysis and a whole lot of coincidences, but in February I saw him again. He showed up to me like the opening scene of a horror movie that I wouldn't watch until a week later. I've been having a lot of prophetic dreams. I don't want to go on the tangent here. In the dream, he gave me his hat. When I woke up, my room was once again lit by a blue light, but this time I wasn't so sleepy. I sat up in bed and noticed that the hat he had given me in the dream was on my pillow next to me. This is why I am not so convinced that it was sleep paralysis. I was able to pick the hat up. I could feel the material, the weight of it. It seemed exactly like a regular hat. After some minutes, though, it disappeared. It looked like one of those optical illusions with the vanishing dots. Very bizarre. The next time I saw him was in April. I don't remember dreaming about anything this time. I just woke up and he was there. No blue light now. My lamp had been turned on. He was kneeling next to my bed like before, but this time I felt more awake. I looked at my clock and it was exactly 5:08. I looked at him and said, "This must be sleep paralysis." He said something that sounded like gibberish to me, and I said, "What?" And he repeated himself very calmly. I didn't have a clue of what he was saying. I think he repeated himself 3 times before I started to fall asleep. I was startled awake by the sound of my door being closed. The lamp was now off. My clock now read 5:12 a.m. So whatever this was happened in real time, which makes me think I was not dreaming. He came back again the same night. The room was lit in blue again, and he spoke English this time. He just stared at the ceiling and said, "Your sleep paralysis demon is trying to contact you." I got to assume that that was an attempt at a joke, given that I've been calling it sleep paralysis for so long. He told me to take note of the number 4, and then he was gone. I got up to get a dream journal, but as I flicked through the pages, it seemed like it wasn't mine. It was full of drawings that I didn't recognize rather than writing. I went to the front of the page, and written there was, "My name is Michael." Is that what he had been trying to say earlier? I put the book down and went back to bed. My most recent encounter was again in April, a couple of weeks after the previous one. I woke up to a blinding bright blue light, and Michael was standing next to my bed. He was talking to somebody, but I couldn't tell who. He said people who experience reality shifts sometimes come back changed. She thought that was what happened to her, but she's always been this way. I haven't gotten a damn clue of what that's supposed to mean. Please let me know if anyone has ever experienced anything like this. That's fucking creepy. That is creepy. Yeah, I'd definitely not sleep in that bed again. I had a weird sleep paralysis one time. Sandhoff is a girl, not a boy. I had a weird sleep paralysis thing happen once. I remember, and I've shared it before. I had to do the old jingle dance. So, I had just come back from work. I worked at GMAC, and I worked the night shift there. I worked in a phone part of it, and so I worked from, it was 3 to midnight, because 9 o'clock in California would be midnight in New York. So we could make calls to GMAC customers, GMAC customers, at 12 in New York, and it'd still be 9. So it was legal. So I got out of work, and my daughter Isabel was still in the crib. And Abby had her own room. Abby, God, she was like 5 maybe. Belly was like almost 2. And she didn't have a little crib. She had a huge crib. Everyone was asleep. Belle was in her crib, which was in my wife and my ex-wife in my room. So I was like, well, shit, I'm going to not wake anybody up. I'm just going to sit down and, I'll smoke a bowl and have a drink. So I remember I packed the bowl and I went out back and I smoked a bowl to my head, and I came in and I got a glass of ice water and I poured like 3 or 4 shots, chased it, took a glass of drink, and I lied on the couch and fell asleep. And I remember the couch was against the wall, and our coffee table was right here. The entertainment stand was in front of the coffee table, like on the wall. And the doorway to the kitchen was right here. So my head would be here, and the doorway to the kitchen was right there. Well, I heard what sounded like a dog breathing and what sounded like a dog walking. And it stopped. like I could hear it walking, and like it sounded like it was rubbing against the coffee table. My eyes are just like cringed, like clinched tight, and I'm in my head, I'm awake. I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is that? Don't open your eyes, Jeff. Don't open your eyes. And it gets to be like right next to my face, and I can hear it breathing. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yell for help, do something, yell. And I can't. And next thing I know, I can hear it move on, and I'm able to yell. I yell. I'm like, I yelled for my wife to help, and she came out and turned the light on in the living room. And I'm like, I explained to her what happened, and it was weird because I got up and I got a glass of ice water in the kitchen, but in the kitchen is the downstairs door to get into the basement. But it wasn't a crawl space. It was a little taller than a crawl space. It was an unfinished basement with a sand floor. But you still had to hunch down to get in. But that door was open, and we did never left it open because the girls, we didn't want them to go down there to get hurt. So I'm like, why is this door open, to my ex-wife? And she's like, I don't know. Did you open it? And I'm like, no. And that was my sleep paralysis experience. Jeannie, I hope to see you more. It was a creepy experience, hippie. It changed my thinking on sleep paralysis, because, like with sleep paralysis, you always hear about the witch, the witch. But I was asleep. I know I was asleep for a little bit, and I don't know. Maybe it was real. Maybe there was an actual physical creature in my house, a hellhound that went downstairs. Maybe there was some portal or something. I don't know. I don't know. It fucked me up though. Ugh. Ugh. No, but I could hear it breathing. I could hear it breathe. I could hear, how like a dog breathes through its nose. That's what I could hear. It was very, very creepy. Lunatic Fringe, I would die to have my body at 28 back in the day. Luke, how are you? Joe. Thank you. Thank you very much, Joe. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate you. You know I do. Thank you. Well, Ethan, I got to disagree with you on that. In my opinion, I think like when you take acid or mushrooms or any kind of hallucinogenic, then you're opening yourself up. But alcohol and weed is like, I have I smoked weed and drank a very long time. I mean, I was addicted to heroin for years and opiates for years, and never had any kind of, but when I did acid and mushrooms, I had some real crazy fucking shit happen. But that's your opinion. My opinion's different, and that's it. Scott Lander, how are you? I used to have curves for days too, lunatic. I used to have an ass that you could bounce a quarter off. No, I'm just kidding. That's fucked up. Joe, happy birthday on Monday. I am going to make sure I send you a birthday email. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you. And please, on Monday, do not do anything except for yourself, please. Naroshi, how are you? At least someone got that joke. Thank you, Tyler, for getting the joke. Joe's going to be 28 this year. Vang, it's legal in Minnesota now? No kidding. Joey Michaela, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Joe Michaela. Happy birthday to you. Ba-bum-bum-bum-bum. What's up, Freddie Fukups? Shrooms are being sold in California. They're selling grow kits nowadays in New York, but it's still illegal if you grow them, which I think they should be illegal, unless doctor prescribed like microdosing or whatever. I don't know. I remember one time we were, this is crazy. We were doing acid, and my friends and I, and actually, I think this was paranormal related. And I want you guys to tell me what you think about this. So, and it wasn't acid. We were on microdots. So we were actually on mescaline. It was myself, my friend Eugene, my friend Sean, and my friend Joel. And it was us four. Eugene and Sean are brothers, and me and Joel, are friends. But we took these microdots and we went down to the Hudson River, where all these woods are deep, deep woods. It follows the Hudson River. And we were just running around in the woods, right? Well, we split off, and it was me and Eugene and Joel and Sean, because once again, Sean and Eugene were brothers. Me and Sean didn't like each other. So me and Gino went and ran off by ourselves. And I remember me and Gino are running through the woods, and I kept looking over because I kept seeing something off my peripheral. And it was this monster. It was this just fucking, it looked like it was part owl, but it had teeth. And I've got the tattoo on my back, actually, of what it looked like to me. And I said, Gino, do you see that thing chasing us? And we stopped, and we ended up, we think it took off, but it could have been a hallucination. That's why I said, what do you guys think about this? So we both saw it run off into the woods. No sooner did it go into the woods did Joel and Sean show up. And we are now standing above this brick, or actually concrete building. It's a concrete slab, and then so picture 4 walls made of concrete, and there's a crack. We shimmied down into it, and it was just this box made out of concrete with like a window looking over this huge ditch. So we get into this area, and there's a gallon jug of water, a gallon jug of gasoline, and what looked like blood on the walls. We are idiots, and we started drinking the water because we were thirsty, like idiots. Mind you, we're only like 16. And we take the gasoline up, and we pour the gasoline down this little hole into the concrete building. There was no furniture. It was just all concrete. And we lit it. Big fireball, and it went out. So then we take off running again. And we end up in the Hudson River. And we're in the northern part of the Hudson. It's up where I live. There are some deep parts, and there's some very shallow parts. And where we were wading in about 3 feet of water. And we were standing up and looking at this cliff. And all 4 of us saw the same monster that me and Gino saw running through the woods. But I've always thought it was part of a hallucination. I don't know. Yeah, we were 16, Elsa. You know, we didn't care. Jordy, what's up? So, would you classify that as paranormal, or did we open something in our minds? Maybe a shared vision. Yeah, OG. Bang. And we always thought, you know, because it wasn't acid. We were on microdots, so we were on mescaline. We always thought we had like communicated with a different world. You know what I mean? Probably, Eunice. Yeah, yeah. Most definitely. Ooh, Vang, that's good. That's a good concept right there. We saw what cats and dogs see. Very good concept. We got another couple of encounters. What time is it? It's not too bad. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so this has nothing to do with Robert and his son Junior, but it's in the same area of Gila, New Mexico. So I had something happen to me a few miles outside of the Gila National Forest in New Mexico. Some friends and I went camping out in the boonies down a game trail with seriously low levels of activity. I like that area of Gila so much because of a lot of it is logging land on the outskirts of legitimate unmapped woods. The first place we set up camp was pretty much on the edge of a pine thicket where the forest jutted up a ridge. Lots of trees still, but not as many as further down in, if that makes sense. Anytime I go camping in a place like Gila, old growth forests with nobody around, I like to smudge the area with sage bundle and roll a cigarette as a kind of offering and cleansing. I have a master's degree in cultural anthropology, and I lend a lot to credence to indigenous beliefs, especially where it concerns the wilderness. When I sat down by the fire we set up to get my sage started, it wouldn't light. I used my lighter. I stuck it in the fire itself, but it wouldn't get it lit. It just got charred and the twine burned up, but no significant smoke from the sage. It was eerie because usually that's a bad sign if you follow any stuff like that. I just let it go because it was getting dark at the time, and to suggest moving camp probably would have gotten me heckled pretty badly by my friends. As the night goes on, we are doing typical camping stuff, playing guitars and singing songs, drinking beer and roasting hot dogs, etc. When we put out the fire, I noticed just how dark the forest line really was at night, and it spooked me very badly. We had seen a herd of elk on the game trail, heard some coyote, and I even saw a dingy looking turkey wandering around at one point in the early afternoon. So I was aware of the wildlife. But once the fire stopped popping, it was dead silent. Like you say, there was a heaviness to it. The three of us just kind of sat there looking around in the dark, trying to get our eyes to adjust, but figured we'd been staring at the fire for so long, and we just giving ourselves reasons to be freaked out of the darkness. So we hopped in the tent, zipped it up, and tried to get some sleep. About an hour passes before we all hear this very distinct sound of bipedal walking very close to our camp, crunching on the dry pine needles, twigs stomping around out in the middle of nowhere in the pitch blackness. Even writing that just gave me chills. That shit was unsettling. We all looked at each other from our sleeping bags, eyes wide and silent as whatever this thing was passed by. Just one. It was so quiet, no other life could be heard. No sniffing, no snuffing like a bear would, no elk calls, no sound of jingling or equipment like a hunter might have. I honestly have no idea what in the world could make such a distinct thump, pause, but it was wild. None of us slept that night, and the next morning we moved camp down to another game trail, somewhere far away from that looming ridge, the tree line. Didn't see any evidence of anyone around us in at least a mile radius of camp, and still I have no explanation for what I heard and experienced that night. As a side note, all the next place we set up, my sage bundle lit up and burned that white smoky smoke. I'm lucky to be an insomniac. No, I'm not. Libra, what's up, girl? How are ya? I would love to be able to sleep, but I just cannot sleep. Oh no, you're lucky. Libra poets in the house with us. I've got Caden's back too. Caden's literally one of my favorite people. I remember like a couple of weeks ago, someone was messing with Caden on his site, just saying some douchey shit to him about when he was doing his gun videos. And I was like, no, not my friend Caden. You don't leave unless you've got a van. Then you can mess with Caden. If you got the white van and he accepts your lollipop, okay. Other than that, leave him alone on his walk to Walmart. I fucking love Caden. He's great. Everything's going well with me, Libra. Thank you for asking. I live in Surbiton. I'm doing well. You? I hope you are doing well. When Caden did that video, I just said, watch out for the van unless they got good candy. That's it. You know, you got to let him live his life. If he wants to accept the candy, take the candy, but make sure you get $20. Okay? Nothing in this world is free. If I did a Dogman convention, I would do it. It would be free. I would figure out how to do it for free. I wouldn't have vendors. I'd have it just be us and, you know, hanging out. I wouldn't want to charge anybody money. Life and Times, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Jeff, don't be jealous. You know. Yes, I do. We're all good. No, I don't think the money bit doesn't work for me. You know, it's just sharing, you know, ideas and meeting good people. You know what? That reminds me. Let me check something. I want to find something for you guys. All right, since everybody's talking about vampires, let's do a little bit of vampire stuff. I was in the 7th grade. Me and my family, we lived near Asheville, North Carolina. And we were coming back from Columbia, South Carolina, where we were originally from. Along the way on I-40, we saw something I know everyone says that, but I distinctly remember looking out the window. I saw it, my mom saw it, my little brother even saw it. My stepdad, he's sketchy on it. He's religious, and he can't mesh the two things together. It just screws things up for him. So anyway, we were driving along, and the next thing, we're home. The next morning, he's the one. He goes outside and comes back inside because I got school the next day, and he says, Tina, that's my mom, Why did you reset all the presets on the radio? The time's wrong, everything. And we got to thinking. We didn't even remember coming home last night, but I can't remember what we saw. I can remember what we saw when we looked out the window, and my mom remembers a little bit more than we can. There was a craft. It was huge. I-40 was not lit up. When you're coming into Asheville, it's not lit up. There is no street lights. Maybe now there is, but at the time, no. It was bright like floodlights, and I've since been in the military and law enforcement, and that's the only equivalent to how bright the lights were. I remember looking up, and there was 3 distinct lights, 2 red ones that took up the interstate. You couldn't see the stars. It was jet black other than the 3 lights. There was no noise. I remember rummaging through the car, trying to get a look out the window, and my mom saying, "Get back in the car, get back in the car." The only thing I truly lasting remember is all of us have a scar on our arm now. It's the shape of a half moon. Elaborating further on the scar, the only thing that I can recall is my mom helped. You know, when you get a zit, well, I had one on my ear, and it was bothering me. And I guess in high school, and obviously I can't see in my ear, so I said, "Mom, can you help me with this?" She looked and she popped it, and when she popped it, a metallic thing came out. She kept it for a year. Okay. Polish vampire research. Middle Age Europe was a place ruled by superstition and mythical beliefs. At least some parts of it were. Now, researchers are trying to figure out what made some people in Poland believe there was an outbreak of vampires in the 17th and 18th century. Archaeologists have discovered surprisingly many burial sites of presumed vampires. People used a variety of practices to stop people from rising from the ground, from placing rocks under their chins and placing sickles across their bodies to try and keep them in fetal positions and piercing them with wooden stakes. But until now, very little was known about the origin and what made people believe they were vampires. This new study conducted by the University of South Alabama is the first of its kind. It suggests that unlike some historians believed, the vampires were not strangers. All of them were locals. The researchers studied 6 such graves and over 100 regular graves, measuring the isotope ratios of their permanent molars, the element found in virtually all rocks, but with various isotopes depending on the source. Their results, which have been published open access in Polls 1, makes the whole situation even more mysterious. If the victims were locals, then what made the other folk believe they were creatures of the night? Was it something about their social behavior, or did they suffer from some sort of disease? Well, that wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Sorry, guys. I thought that was going to be better. I like that. Like, I misunderstood the beginning, but they're driving, and they look out the window, and there's a fucking UFO above them. Oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. No UFO for me. You can keep that UFO shit. Let's see what Jeffy can find. Here's a dogman encounter for us all. Actually, I'm going to take a minute. Some legends are true, but in England, there's actually a legend in England that that states this whole town was bothered by a dog man, and they actually light a candle. No, not yet, Libra. Not yet. Maybe soon. Maybe soon. Maybe that's what it was, Truth Quest. There supposedly there was this English village. Let me see if I can find it. I've got the research saved here. Hang on. Supposedly there's this English village, and they light a candle to keep the dogman, or what they called back then the werewolf, away. And I probably won't be able to find it tonight, which is going to piss me off to no end. But the military, or the army or whatever, ended up fighting it. I don't remember the exact details of it. I'm going to try and find it. England. Hopefully I can find it. That's not it. I don't know. I'll try and find it for next week and share it. Hopefully I can find it next week, because it's actually very interesting. I'm only going to take one more second to try and find it. No. What the fuck? I wanted to share that with you guys too, because it's actually really cool. I'll find it for next week. I'm sorry. Here's an interesting one. It falls into what we've been talking about. Why aren't you moving, Libra? You're not moving? I thought you were moving to upstate New York. That's what you said. That's what you promised me, Libra. You promised me. Hey, Elzilla, what's up, my friend? It's all fun and games until Dogman stands up. It's all fun and games until you fall over the gifting rock and Bigfoot comes and spits on your booter hole. Libra, stop it. Stop it. There, my face got red. My face got red. Bronze member, golden member, how are you? Oh, Libra. All right, so since we were talking about dinosaurs and possible dinosaurs living on islands and such, I think possibly pterodactyl, Archaeopteryx, maybe some smaller like dinosaurs may emerge from like caves and stuff like reptilians. But obviously, definitely the ocean is filled with prehistoric, like the coelacanth, megalodon. But check this out. I saw a flying creature October 19th, 2022, in front of my house. I live in Orland Park, Illinois, and I lived in this same house for 16 years. I would see a coyote every once in a couple of years in the winter and a few fox here and there. 2 months ago, I started to see a coyote/wolf hybrid creature at least twice a week, which was not normal. I'm unable to walk my dogs like I normally do because of this hybrid creature coming face to face with me and chasing me away. Anyway, on that night, I was with my dogs in the front only since I can't walk them around anymore. One dog was leashed and the other one was just rolling around in the grass a few feet away from me while I was standing on the porch. A creature with no fur, no feathers, gray/brownish color, long legs, with an extra long tail, swooped down in an attempt to grab my unleashed dog. The creature saw me, then flapped its leather-like wings once and wrapped its wing around its body in an attempt to conceal itself from me and glide off. While gliding away, it dropped some liquid waste, and a lot of it. It landed on the grass, so I wasn't able to see the color and texture. This happened between 9:45 and 10 o'clock. No. The description is similar to that of a pterodactyl. Even though the total beak length was concealed by the wings, it had a very distinct, long, thin tail with a spade-like structure at the end. She also describes its wings as leather-like and shaped like a manta ray, approximately 5 feet wide each. A total of 10 feet wingspan, body grayish brown in color with smooth like skin. It made no noise other than the sound of its wings flapping. Well, that's why I brought it up, Michelle, because we were talking about pterodactyls and stuff. Yeah, Joe, it does. It does sound like that creature that attacked you by your house. Yes. My hair looks cool. This is hat head. This is all day hat head. It's all messy. I keep playing with that side. There we go. Thunderbirds, yes. Yep. My best friend Zach, the guy that I mentioned earlier that we were talking about, Skinwalker Ranch, his totem, his people's totem is the Thunderbird. Thank you, Katie. Ermic, not so much. Sandhoff. What's up, DJ? How are you? With inflation, 50 is 50. Thunderbirds are real, 100%. Ooh, Andy Davis's new nickname is Betty. What, Ethan? Holy shit. Dude, you got to email me on that one. I want to hear that. Listen to what Ethan just said. Jeff, I was working downtown, had to kick some homeless out of the parking garage, and they said, yes, we need to get going before night. And they started talking to each other about a black thing taking one of them. Holy shit. That's insane. So they were talking about the Dogman. Yeah. Wow. I really, honestly, I firmly believe that. Hey, Patty, I firmly believe that the Dogmen in some areas are using the homeless as prey. That's it's just perfect, you know. Like, it's not perfect for them. It's perfect for them to get away with it without anyone knowing that, you know, they're using the homeless as prey. Is there any chance of providing us with the best Dogman photo? Mike, if I had it, I would share what I have. I don't have any photo except that wasn't me, Libra. There's other mods in here. Kirk Stokes has probably the greatest pictures I have seen. That video that I shared the other day. Open coloring book. What's going on? Oh yeah, April. Does anybody? Oh, so here on the April 8th during the eclipse, they say that wildlife is going to stop because Sandhoff in April. No, there's more than 3 of you, Jane. In April, the solar eclipse is happening, and they say that all wildlife is going to, when it happens, will completely go silent. Let me see if I can find it. Oops. Wow. Wildlife affected. Okay. So, it's going to confuse birds. The the upcoming total eclipse will have a wide range of impact on animals, the weather, and the environment across North America. It's been reported during past solar eclipse that some animals change their behavior, thinking that night has fallen. So if that happens, if when the solar eclipse happens, do you think Dogman and Bigfoot will be like off their rocker? Yeah, me too. Yup, they are easy pickings. We are sponsored by Just Water. That's it. You think that's why they're building bunkers? No, they've been building bunkers underground for a long time, Carol. Um, I think that I think they build them to do what they've been doing. Kind of like what, the military experimenting aliens and stuff. But welcome to the channel. Larry, what's up, brother? I texted you today. Thank you very much, Larry Lindman. I texted you today. You must have been sleeping or working. Thank you, Larry. Carol, it starts at midnight. You're never late. You're always here. I never say anyone's late or, sleeping back at work, of course. I hear you. That's why I didn't call. I texted you. I wanted to talk to you about my dad and see what you had to say about something. But if you're free tomorrow, text me sometime because I'd like to ask you. Oh, it's not, Sam, it's not 80% light, it's 80% darkness. So in the Adirondacks, it's going to be 90% darkness. there's once again, look it up and look at the map. It shows you like the percentage, but in Manhattan it should be April 8th interactive map, National Solar Observatory. Okay, so in 64 days, 8 hours and 31 minutes and 17 seconds, the eclipse will hit us. Let me see something here. Get out of here. So, New York. I'm going to have, holy shit, I'm going to be 99.26% darkness. Still a partial solar eclipse. Did you know from here you are less than 30-minute drive from seeing it totally. So I'm 99.26% of seeing the total eclipse. Instead of 100%, it'll be 99.26 or whatever. But down in the city, it's 89.67. Partial solar eclipse will happen. The sun has a large chunk taken out of it, but the sky's still bright. Wear eclipse glasses. Start at 2:10, ends at 4:36. Andy Davis, happy birthday. It's not going to be the end of the world. It is not, I promise you. Anastasia, how are you? I'm glad that you're here with us now, though. Libra with the sunglasses. That's funny. Yeah, you can buy them on Amazon. There's a website that's selling them for like $2. Horus and Anubis. Truth Quest. Kevin Smith, how are you? That's too cheap for me, OG. Horus isn't the god of death. That's fine, Libra. I ain't jealous. I'm good. No, Mills Lane, no. My mind of the Miami alien attack has not changed. The only aliens that were there were illegal aliens and a bunch of punk kids. Like I said, people are taking advantage of it just to get views. Carol, no. Victor is more than likely passed away. No, I didn't, Jamie. Ethan, I want you to get as much info as you can, but be safe, please. All right? Please. What's up, Jessica Dana? How are you? All right, let's see something. Bop, bop, Let me get a good encounter. I'm going to find a good encounter to end the night with. Have you guys ever seen like the YouTube shorts where that guy that wears that fucking mask and he's got no hair, he's bald except like the long on the side, and he does the thing, he's like, you know what I'm talking about? I guess he's bald because he wore a Batman mask for too long. Yes, I did. Yep, John, I definitely did. The guy's got, so this guy has this pink mask, and all you can see is his eyes, right? But when he takes the mask off, he's like, it looks like he's shaved. He's got the old man bald, but he's got long hair. So like, he fucking he does this like, he's like, he says, I'm wearing the mask because I'm so good looking. And the people are like, oh, really? Let's see. And he'll take the mask off, and the people will be like, and then all of a sudden he like rizzes them up. He's like, beer, beer. Fucking, he's awesome. All right. I'm gonna hold off because I don't want to end this yet. Bruce Wayne, yes. Bruce Wayne TV. That's what his name is. That's right. What's up, Renee? How are you? No, I didn't hear about that one, Jamie. I don't watch stuff like that. I watch funny stuff. I'm getting tired. It's 3:00 here, almost. I got up at freaking 11 this morning, but I didn't go to bed until 4. Victor, because he was very sick and I haven't talked to him in forever. We had things set up. I talked to his son and daughter-in-law and one time before when he was sick. But I have not had any kind of communication with him. So he was actually in the hospital the last time I talked to him, and he was dying. So Vang, this guy is hideous. He is like, I feel bad because he's like, and then sometimes he's like, he goes, well, I wear the mask because I'm the ugliest person on TikTok. And people are like, no, you can't be that ugly. And he's like, don't laugh when I take off the mask. And they're like, no, we won't. And he takes the mask off. And I swear to God, like, he didn't just get hit with the ugly stick. That fool fell down the ugly fucking tree, hit every fucking ugly branch. Oh man, he is. Let me see if I can find a picture of him. Ugly Bruce Wayne guy on TikTok. Ugly guy on TikTok that wears the mask. Ugly guy on TikTok that wears pink mask. Come on now. There he is. There he is. There he is. All right, we gotta find it.
Take the mask off so I can rate you.
You recognize me?
Nah, but I'm trying to rate you, so I'm saying take the mask off. Alright, I rate you probably like a 1.1.
1.1.
0 being the worst, 50 best. It's the bald spot for me, bro. It's the you better off with the ski mask on. Put the ski mask back on, bro. It's the little hairs and it's all that. 0 out of 50, matter of fact. 0 out of 50, you hear me? And you going on TikTok, bro. Put that back on. Put it back on. Because you caught me off guard. I didn't know you was going to have a bald spot in the white hair.
That's right, Goose Wayne. Goose Wayne. Riz.
According to CBR,
Goose Wayne TV, Riz. This is so great.
Alexa, turn on Riz lights.
okay.
Riz ice. Who you finna riz?
What do you mean, who am I gonna
He's
Riz?
gonna Riz you. Oh yeah.
Oh shit! What the fuck?
Changed my mind.
Oh my god, I love that guy. I fucking love him. Oh my goodness. Riz lights. Turn on the Riz lights. Dang. Oh, I don't even know how to Riz people. I got no Riz. I would be kicked in the nuts if I tried to Riz somebody. I fucking love that. It's so great. Goose Wayne. He's fucking hilarious. He's great. Oh my god, he's so funny. I gotta get a good one. Here, we'll get more. Yeehaw. He was on Dr. Phil. He was on Dr. Phil too.
What's going on, guys? It's Goose Wayne. So normally, when we go on Omegle or these alternative apps, Omegle shut down, girls, they see me, and then they throw up in their mouths and literally say, ew. Today, we are beating them to the punch. As soon as they pop up on screen, I'm like, ooh. We put the reactions together. And,
This isn't a good one.
Roll it, roll it, roll it, rolling down a river.
Here we go.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
To myself, I don't wanna know if you're playing me.
going.
What do you mean keep going?
Do what you were just doing.
Oh, sorry. My oven's going off.
This girl is on fire. No, I love it. Keep going. This is what I needed in my life.
Really? I don't have any more, but I can do one live.
This is great. Oh my god, that's so fucking great. He's like, oh man. All right, I'm sorry for anybody who didn't like that, but it's not all about cryptids on our live streams. We have fun. Dude, that guy, imagine if you woke up to that motherfucker scared or standing next to your bed looking down at you. Ooh. Even the Bigfoot at the gifting rock would run away. He would be like, I'm out of here, dude. You're not even getting your booter hole plugged up tonight. Oh man. And then when he does that song, I'm only I love that he's got this hair dryer, he blows his hair so it's splaying. No, he actually Libra, so he actually wore, that's why his name's Goose Wayne, because he wore a Batman mask for like 2 years straight and he never took it off. So when he took it off, he has a hair flesh-eating bacteria on his head, and he's permanently bald because of it. His wife tried to divorce him and brought him to Dr. Phil, and now like she's accepting of it because it's funny as hell, and he makes a shitload of money on TikTok doing it. So he's ugly as fuck. He's fuck. Can you imagine? And his wife is like sort of pretty. She's like average pretty. And then you got this chode that's like, oh my goodness. That's my Riz. That's it. All right. I'm writing this for a friend who now wears a bulletproof vest and carries a gun every day because of his encounter. He said that there are 8-foot-tall creatures resembling reptilian-type beings surrounding his house at night. They get into his head and communicate strange stuff, like stuff about the end of civilization and that only a small group of humans will survive. Sometimes they get physical, and then there is loss of consciousness. They mimic his voice when he yells out into the woods at them. It starts off sounding strange, and they repeat it over and over until they get it right, exactly duplicating, until it gives him chills and goosebumps. He shoots at them, and then at the light smacks the bullets out of the air. When the light hits the bullets, it makes a loud slapping noise. He finds the bullets in the yard in the morning. Some of the bullets are perfectly shaped, and some are flat, like they had been hit or run over by a train. Since the guns and bullets don't work, he's tried using a knife. He was able to stab one, and it yelled. He used a bear trap once. It snapped shut, and the thing screamed. The trap was gone in the morning. There is so much to this experience that I don't know and can't remember, but he wanted to share this. They don't seem to be able to come into his house for some reason. Humans might be working with them also. James Moses, thank you, my friend. At the same time that these incidents were taking place, someone shot his dog. The dog was placed in a box and left at his front door of his house with a note, "Don't forget." It sounds sort of like Mothman prophecy stuff to me. Strange. The only way he sees himself actually being able to kill one of these creatures is by stabbing it while it's dragging you away and hopefully bleeds out before it takes you to where it wants to go. Like I said, there is so much more to this experience that only he knows and is willing to tell all. He just wants to find out how to get rid of these creatures and out of his woods. Yeah, I think it was the government that shot his dog. It wasn't the creatures. Me too. Red eyes? Dude, if there's red eyes standing outside there, it's going to be a big fucking thing. All right, guys, we are 3 hours into the live stream. I had a blast tonight with you guys. Thank you. Alan Howell, thank you so much. Jesus, now I'm going to stay for a little bit more. Oh, I got to flap the nuts around for a second. Hang on. There we go. That's better. I'll stick around for a little more since Alan and James donated to the channel. I'll stick around more. So James Moses again, you fucker. I'm just kidding. Let me find a good couple of experiences then. The jiggle dance. I think I did that one. Yeah, I did that one. All right, let's see what I saved this day. Oh, what's that? All right, here we go. On December 2nd, 1974 at 10:30 p.m., dairy farmer William Bosick, age 68, owner of the dairy farm for 40 years close to a rural city of Frederick in the northwestern part of Polk County, Wisconsin, had attended the meeting of the Farmer Cooperative in Frederick and was driving back by car to his rural house of the southeast of Frederick when, at approximately a mile from his farm, he spotted an object on the left side of the road in front of him. He was driving slowly because of packs of fog and the headlights of his car reflecting on the object. He slowed down while approaching. The object was motionless and seemed to have been between 8 and 10 feet in height. Libra, thank you, dearie. It was not luminous, but reflected the headlights and had a transparent sector resembling glass in the shape of a shell or bell, or conical with a peak. On the top of the machine, which was lighted, in which Bosick saw an occupant of which the top of the body was visible and who had his arms raised above his head. Although Bosick spoke about a man, the character or the creature who had a head and 2 arms showed characteristics of not being human. Stiff hair or hairs came out of the side of his head, whose face itself was hairless, a beardless chin. Its eyes were large and protruding. The ears were described as pointing on an 8 centimeter resembling that of a young calf. It seemed to be dressed of some type of tight-fitting covered brown fur. Or it seemed to be dressed in something tight-fitting, covered in brown fur, or to be covered with brown fur on the higher parts of its body, including the arms. No collar or features were visible on this possible suit. The bottom of the character was lost from sight in the fog, which Basic was very frightened, but saw that the face of the creature also showed signs of fear. He slowed down almost to a halt when he arrived at the object, but overcome with fear, he accelerated to drive away from the object. When he did that, the inside of his car became darker as the headlights had weakened, and he heard a noise of friction like that of branches of a tree sweeping the car. Back home, it tried to look at a sector where the encounter had occurred from the advantageous point view of the house, but he could not see anything because of the fog. The next morning, he returned to the location in the section and searched for anything landing traces of evidence or the presence of the object, but found nothing except that, according to one version of the experience, there was a flattened circular area in the field. Basic did not tell what he has seen to anybody during almost a month, not even his wife or son, but finally decided to reveal the incident, apparently by contacting a newspaper which published his story. Two APRO investigators met him, and it was said that Basic was sincere and a man of good reputation in his community. Understanding of skepticism of the newspaper and neighbors, Basic commented on that he would welcome a lie detector to prove that he was not lying. The story then entered the ufology and 14 literature, for example, Bigfoot piloting a flying saucer. We're doing this. I'm a millennial. I'm a Gen X. No, yeah, Gen X. Puma Pete. No, I just have my address. If you want it, I'll email me. Degeneration X. Suck it. What's up, Bobby? How are you? Yeah, Art Bell. Wow. It's been 20 years. Holy shit. Someday, I may be as big as Art Bell. No, I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be awesome, though? Bobby, I'm sorry about your hand and wrist. I hope you feel better. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. Billy Idol. Billy Idol was the fucking. He was the greatest freaking whatever. Art Bell did have a temper. I think it was because he couldn't control his demons. To be honest with you, I mean, he was great at what he did. He was a great interviewer, a great bringer of truth. I don't know if I'd classify him as a researcher, maybe, but he was an amazing bringer of truth to people, you know. But he couldn't control his demons. I just did an old Wisconsin story, but no, nothing new as of late. All right, guys. I am tired. I am going to crash. Thank you for hanging out with me. Mike, no. Pain medications. But I'm not saying anything bad about him. He was addicted to pain medication at one time. And it was an accidental drug overdose. Art Bell died of an accidental drug overdose. That was his demons, unfortunately. So, but once again, I've always said it, that I think that people that have addictions or addiction issues, no, Andy, no, definitely not. That people with addiction issues are really clued into this subject. How could the cabal kill him if he had an overdose of pain medication when he was addicted to pain medication most of his life? That makes honestly no sense. I'm addicted to nicotine and caffeine still, yeah. That's the only thing I'm addicted to. All right, guys. I love you all. Thank you for joining me. Guys, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. No. I have to disagree. I agree to disagree, Andy. But each to our own, right, brother? All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you for joining me. I'm using the wrong fucking mouse. Stay well. Don't let your meatloaf if you got meatloaf. Love you.